Welcome back to Level Up Local. Today we have Joshua Beam, who runs Pintail Powerwashing here in the River Valley of Arkansas. We talk about a lot of interesting things, from marketing his business to his history, what he's done here, and some of the real tangible benefits you get from pressure washing your property is going to surprise you, so stick around. So you're from Dardanelle.
Yes.
Graduated in 2014.
15.
2015.
Yep.
Okay, so I graduated in 2016 from Pottsville. And once you got out of school, man, I'm curious, what you next. Did you go into a 9 to 5? Did you immediately start a business?
Yeah, I just did. So I went to community college. I didn't know what I wanted to do for a long time. I did general studies. But before that, real briefly, I did petroleum technologies.
Petroleum technologies?
Yeah. So
that's something you're passionate about, or did you test it out and you're like, no, that's not for me?
Well, they were like, you want to make six-figure your first year? And I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, go to school, get a degree. And they can't. You're less likely to get laid off if you have a degree, something. So I was like, okay, so I'll do that. And then I was like, a few months in, I was like, nah, not for me. So, but yeah, a lot of back and forth if I don't know what I want to do. I did that for a long time. Going to the workforce, I did HVAC, I did lots of different things, just whatever jobs. I waited tables, and then I decided I'm going to just join the military because I have no direction at all. So I decided to join when I was 21. So
What'd you join? Which branch?
Air Force.
Air Force. What'd you, full-time, reserves?
Yep, I was full-time, wanted to do active duty, and just went for it. So.
What was your job, or your MOS, I guess?
Job was aircraft loadmaster, and at the time I didn't know what that meant. But
sounds cool.
Yes, it was very cool. Loading all kinds of different cargo, traveling all over the world, getting to see a lot of different places. So, yeah.
See any places you want to live? Wanted to live?
No.
Right here?
No.
This is it?
I like home because I was stationed in California, and I was like, as the years went by, I was like, I can't wait to get home. But at the time before I joined the military, I was like, I can't wait to get out of here. And then I was like, I need to come back. So
yeah. In high school, man, everyone my age was like, oh, I want to leave. And at the time, I didn't have any plans, but I hit college, started to get outside, rock climb, fell in love with Colorado and Utah.
Yeah.
And I had plans to move there for a while, just oh, man, it'd be great to live here. Lived there for a little bit, just for a summer, while I was in school. And still plan to, but then you get married. Did my ring fall off? Oh, I took it off for jiu-jitsu. But you get married and kids. And then I also realized Arkansas is really cool.
Yeah.
In more ways, I'm learning more about it every day. Not just from the nature and the things to do outside, because there's a ton of that. Probably rock climbing. It's got so much good. Have you ever climbed before?
No.
The wall used to be a thing here in town, but it's got a ton of good climbing. It's just not very tall, but as far as the quality, very, very good. And the economy, all this stuff going on. And I think it's the most, in 2024, it was the most moved to state per capita. So Texas got more people from California, but per population, our population has risen the most last year out of any other state.
Yeah.
So I think the cat is out of the bag about Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's people are moving here.
My parents talk about it all the time. They're like, I just wish it would stop. We can't have anything. It's like,
it ain't going to stop. And I've accepted that. And that's partly why we do what we do here, because if we can build Arkansas is going to grow. The market cap of Arkansas is going to grow.
Yeah.
So if you can build a business now, gain some of that, you can affect the way it grows. You can affect the way it changes.
Yeah.
And that's the game we're playing. We're playing the 5, 10, 15-year game. How can we build something significant with the people in Russellville? Well, something else I've also realized about this area, Russellville, the River Valley, say Russellville, Pope County, Yell County, Johnson County, we got a lot of talented people.
Yeah.
It's not, you see on TV all the time, people talking online, people talking about Silicon Valley or LA or Dallas, Houston, Austin. But that's just because we have that same those same skilled people, we have our own versions here.
Yeah.
And it's just been a matter, I think, of communication and connecting them. That's why this place we're sitting in right now, the Co-Create Hub, is so amazing because it brings those people together. And even the people we have here, you wouldn't know it, but some of them have. Yeah, I mean, even you've been in the Air. How long were you in the Air Force?
4 years. So 2018 to 2022, full term. So got out and I was like, I want to go back home. Especially I had a kid, so my first kid, Vera, she was born in 2022, and I was getting out a few months later. So I was like, they kind of just like solidified my decision on that. It's like, I want to go back home.
Yep. But I guess since you were in the military, you get like a ton of benefits for life, right?
Yeah. So I can like go back to school for free, and there's different programs where you can get health care and stuff like that. So,
have you used any of that to benefit your business you're running right now?
There isn't, from what I know, just because I talked to my accountant last year, there is like a few tax breaks, I think, that come with it. I think there are stipulations that go with that. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot. I just don't want to deal with the paperwork and the applying and all that right now anyway. But maybe if I get to a place where I'm making, $6-figure a year, then I'm like, maybe I can look into that. But as a startup business right now, I'll still be a startup until I reach 5 years or whatever. I don't know. I still feel like I started.
I think it's 2 years actually in Arkansas.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So if you're a veteran, which you are, and you are not a startup, which you're not because you've been in business 3 years,
right.
It's 2. And the only reason I know this is because I've been working with a veteran who's in the same situation.
Okay.
You actually now, I mean, in your field, I don't know, you'd have to look into it, but you now have like government contracts and grants that since you're not a startup, you're veteran owned, like specifically for you. And I don't know how that could benefit you. You'd have to, of course, look into it.
Yeah.
But
that's interesting.
I don't know. I guess like maybe annual or I don't know. So let's talk about what you do for a minute.
Okay.
You run is it pressure washing, power washing. What's the difference?
So I do pressure washing and soft washing. Pressure washing obviously involves the pressure and your high-powered machines, and then you've got your soft washing, which is mainly chemical that does the work, and that's for more sensitive stuff like maybe really, really old brick on a historic building or vinyl siding.
Really?
So you'll just spray your chemical on, watch your organic growth melt and just rinse it off and walk away.
How many historic buildings have you worked on?
I want to say not very many, probably 2. I did one last year. It was in Ola, and it was like 105 years old. So I was like, somebody was living in it too. So it was a really old building, and I was pretty nervous about it. So, but yeah, it was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, I know that when you're in a like historic downtown district, the Main Street America organization, like they have one here in Russellville called Main Street Russellville.
Yeah,
they have all these rules. Because you're in a historic downtown, you have to clean your building in a certain way to not destroy the history of it, I guess, the mortar that's in there.
Yeah.
You ever dealt with anything like that?
No, not yet. I think that goes back to timing. I think everything's happening the way it's supposed to be happening for me, and if I came across something that I wasn't yet experienced in, I'm not going to go for it, obviously. So everything's happening, But I will one day. I'll have all my stuff figured out and be experienced one day. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so what's happening? You said everything's happening.
Everything's happening.
What's the current thing in your business you're focused on?
Right now, marketing. I need. I've got marketing and upgrading equipment. I built a trailer last year, but now I'm like I'm trying to kick everything into high gear this year, and make new investments. I've got shirts designed. I've got signs designed. Just got to pull the trigger on it. Probably in the next month I'll have those being shipped to me. So then after that, I'm gonna hit it hard this year. This year's gonna be like one of my I'm going for it. So. Yeah, not to say that I wasn't, doing that my first and second year, but this year's, I'm ready to go at it full force this year. So
nice. Have you seen much of the guerrilla marketing that pressure wash companies do? They'll take a stencil, right?
Okay.
With their logo and like a number and some verbiage or whatever they want to write, and they'll pressure wash the stencil on like a dirty piece of sidewalk.
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah.
And leave it.
Yeah, I've thought about that.
Reverse graffiti.
Yeah. I've seen that before. I don't know who would want to go for that. I don't know. It's an interesting idea that I've never even thought of before. So I don't know. That'd be pretty cool though.
Yeah. So one of my companies I started in the past lasted 2 weeks. It was called Express Pressure Washing.
Okay.
Right. I bought a bunch of door hangers, made a logo, made a website before even worrying about getting a customer. Like I was worried about those things, right?
Yeah.
Bought a Craftsman pressure washer from Lowe's and one of the adapters, the circular adapters for like sidewalks, right?
Right. Oh, the surface washers.
Surface washers, yeah. And I think I did one, might have been an unpaid job, and then I just couldn't get clients. I couldn't figure out how to, but I also quit after 2 weeks, right? So like, as soon as the results were there, I was like, I'm out. How do you get people to pay you for pressure washing?
Man, selling yourself. It's very, very important. You represent your company, but you're also you're selling yourself. You got to really wholeheartedly believe that what you're doing, they're going to love. I mean, you have to be fully in it. And if you don't, they'll see right through it every single time. So that's how you get the paychecks. Selling yourself.
Why does someone want to pressure wash their driveway? I mean, I get it'll look better, but what type of person does that?
First of all, in a good economy where we can spend money on different things, like it is a luxury to have a clean home, to have a clean roof, to have your driveway, white instead of black. It is a luxury. But some of these homes, especially for like a homeowner, and you are renting your spot out, you've got it set at $850 a month for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, okay? But it's dirty, okay? These people are going to a dirty home, and you're like, I want, obviously I want more money, right? I want to charge more for rent. Well, how do you do that? Maybe clean your home. Maybe make sure it's spick and span and make it look nice, and then raise the rent to $950 or whatever. But having a clean home, I mean, it just cleans you. Especially like roofs, like people don't understand how it can make their homes look so much better if you have a clean roof. And it's a process it takes. Even for a bigger roof, it could take 3 hours for me to do it. And you'll be like, every roof job that I've ever done, they're like over the top about it. And I get tipped because they don't understand how clean a roof can actually get. So
I guess I don't either,
yeah. And
you
people don't
see
think
the
about
before
that.
and after.
Yeah. People don't think about it. They're like, it happens over time. Their home gets dirty over time, and they don't really notice it until it gets clean. They're like, oh my, I didn't even know it was that dirty. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. I didn't even know how dirty it was. So
maybe you've done this, but I think in 2025 it might serve you to build relationships with as many realtors as you can.
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm trying to get to the homeowners. I'm trying to, postcards. I'm trying to get these flyers out. I'm trying to get to these homeowners so I can get these contracts. Like,
well, who's already got the homeowners though? The realtors.
Right.
So do both. But if you could get some realtors on your side that believe in you,
yep,
then they'll be giving you clients left and right.
Yep.
There's actually an event here at the end of this month over in the Think Lounge, and it's a 2-day event. There's Friday from 6 to 7:30. There's a 30-minute presentation by, the Arkansas Small Business Technology and Development Center. Have you heard of that?
Uh-uh.
Well, it's a resource open. They're housed at Tech, but it's open to anyone in the community. They'll help you get grants and talk to you about things. They're doing a presentation, and then it's mingle. And there's going to be lot of realtors there. I don't know if you know this, but the people behind this hub also own a real estate company. Gotcha. So there's going to be dozens and dozens of realtors just milling about. And then the next day, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., it's sort of like it's called the Accelerate Day. And if you want to represent your business, it's $25. You get a table. There's going to be food. So people in the community, other business owners come in, kind of check out what you're doing. Okay. You don't have to pay for a table. You can just come and talk and network. And because right now, I mean, a lot of people don't have money to just spend on something that looks nice, but if it makes them money,
right?
That's a business investment.
Exactly.
And it's worth it. That's good. I'm glad you figured that out. Did you kind of know that from day one?
No.
When did you figure out that it increased property value?
It just kind of happened naturally. I'll be 20 years from now doing this, right? And I'll still be learning every single day. So you just kind of figure that out. You're like, well, you start thinking of just new ideas. Every single day, week, month, I'm trying to think of new ideas to scale up. And that happened just naturally. I just thought of that probably last year, so just thinking of new ideas.
Very nice. And so 10 years from now, how big is this operation?
Hopefully, you said what?
Is it just you in 10 years?
No. The goal is, long-term goal, storefront. I want crews, and I want a department. Okay, I want departments for each one of my things. I'll spill my ideas here, but whatever. I want an interior cleaning crew. I want a sales crew. I want roof washers. I want exterior cleaners. I want mobile detailing crews. So everybody has their own department. And my sales department, they get, they get their incentives for selling. They spend their day knocking on doors or cold calling while the exterior cleaners do their thing. So we're, keeping that train going. That's the goal in 10 years. Trailers, storefront, everything. So,
yeah, I think it's achievable for sure. I mean, everything is achievable. And man, the kind of seeing where you're trying to go. Commercial contracts going to be massive for you too.
Yes.
Commercial contracts, government contracts. I mean, I'm just thinking about it like, depending on the business, there might even be requirements they have to keep things to a certain level, like the government. I don't know, maybe like just make their buildings look good, so it doesn't look dilapidated.
Right.
So there's funding for it out there for sure.
Yep.
Very nice. So 2025 is the year of marketing.
Yeah.
And so far, what have you tried? And has it worked?
We've got a little bit of everything. Signs, door hangers, cold calling, door knocking, Facebook ads. This year will be Google ads. It'll be the first year that I've tried Google ads. I wanted to build up, at least a little bit of reviews. I've got like 90 pictures, or give or take, something like that. And I just wanted to build that up. So before I promote, I want to promote 4 pictures and 1 Google review. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, this year's going to be Google reviews and pushing hard on that mainly.
Okay. And how do you handle do you have any sort of like systems that you use? Are you pen and paper? Is everything just in your head as far as like keeping track of leads, keeping track of clients? Do you have a CRM?
Yeah, it's on my phone basically. I'll write it down too. I've got like a little section on the wall, like a little bulletin, whatever. I'll pin business cards, hot lead, soft lead, something like, just to kind of keep track of that. But
that's good. It's good that you have something.
Yeah.
A lot of business owners don't, man.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot, and some of them are just like, it lives in my head.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yep.
Like for example, I didn't write down. I keep in my notes everything, and we talked about getting a new phone, and I got my new phone set up, and I looked at I have a quote today. I got to do a quote after this, so I looked at the caller ID. And she was the last one in there. And I was like, oh, man, thank you. So I was like, I just texted her. I was like, hey, everything's still good. I just got a new phone, whatever. But yeah, writing everything down is super, super important. Keeping yourself organized too. You know, I've got my invoices and they're quote confirmations, and I've got my terms and conditions in there. I've got any discounts, who's going to be the laborer, what's going to, you know, how much, what's the square footage on it? What am I going to be doing? And this is how much it costs, sign at the bottom. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Similar to how we got it. We recently switched to an all-new CRM system that we actually have implemented for other businesses since then. But when it really clicked, like, hey, we need a system that works, because I'm a real technical guy. I like building stuff on the computer.
all right. Okay.
But I was having issues with people on the team finding it easy and intuitive. What made sense for me just didn't make sense to them.
All right.
And so we kind of stopped using it. And then one day I get a call from a business here, and he's like, hey, can I talk to Obi, who is involved in everything we do? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's not here right now. Who's calling? You know, take down his... And I thought I texted Obi and said, hey, give him a call. But I didn't. So 4 days later, that same lead calls back. For the same lead to call you back, like, that doesn't happen every time. You know? They're really warm at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it just like, man. So we got in contact and everything was good, but it just made me realize, like, we need something better than what we're doing.
Yeah.
So now we've got a system where, you know, everyone, this app basically, and everyone that calls us, like, the whole team can see it, Michael can see it, Obi can see it, and you can also text the number. If someone calls us and we don't answer, they'll just get a text back immediately and get added into the CRM as a missed opportunity. The text will be like, hey, sorry we missed your call. How can we help you? In a competitive industry like yours and like ours, you know, when someone's looking for a service provider, they're going to Google, if they're cold, right? They're going to Google.
Right.
They're trying to find the best pressure washer near me. If you don't answer, they're going to call someone else.
Right. Exactly.
So that touch point, you got to get it quick. And eventually you will hit a point where, you know, you have that first salesperson.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll figure it out, but you gotta keep everyone on the same page and dialed in.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, as far as the community of, what's your service area? Just Russellville? You go
River Valley.
River Valley.
I've traveled up as far as, where was it? Clinton.
Okay.
So
what would you like the community just at large to know about you? What makes you different than someone like me who just buys a pressure washer from Lowe's and starts hanging door hangers, besides the experience, you know?
Yeah. I'm pretty dedicated to this. That's all I got. I decided this to make money, just like you. But then I absolutely fell in love with it. Just the business side, the washing side, just everything. So it means a lot to me. So all the work is coming from my heart. So if you want a good job and you don't want somebody that cuts corners, call me. Because I take every single job personally. Every single job. So
okay.
I may be too hard on myself sometimes, and I may be flawed at that, you know, but I feel like I have to be. To be a really, really successful business, I feel like I have to be at times. You know, you don't want to be the $99 guy to come and tear up your stuff and then leave you with, oh, sorry, I don't have insurance either. And now you're left paying for something that they messed up. So, but, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been me probably had I gone more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's I wanted to protect myself with everything. I wanted to have everything set out before I went and did it. I was doing logistics for a company here in Russellville, just cold calling all day. Hated it. I was a logistics coordinator, account manager, and that's when I decided I just became fully invested, basically obsessed with owning my own business. I got my name decided, Pintail Powerwashing. I typed in the computer how to start a business, and then here we are. It all started from there. What is an LLC? What is self-employment tax? What tax bracket? You know, teaching myself all these things, and I wanted to have all the knowledge that I needed before I went and did this. So I went and got my logo from a guy in Germany, actually. Found him on Instagram. He sent it back to me. I paid him. Then I sent it to a company in Los Angeles to like, make it pop, because I was like, this doesn't look right. So got my business cards. I got my logo, and I was super happy with it. Okay, now I got to get business insurance. Went and did that. I got all my equipment. Everything was ready to go. All I had to do was just start calling people. And then March 1st, 2022, yeah, I just hit it hard. And went out, and you were asking me the other day what's the best technique for getting commercial jobs? And I was like, man, door to door. Because the first day that I started going out, I got two businesses. It was Feltner's and a salon in Russellville. Wow. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And I was over the moon about it, and just from there, just never stopped. So, yeah.
It's incredible, man. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. The last question I have for you today is, have you hired people to help you?
I have hired family before. Nothing real crazy, pulling hoses and stuff like that. Just kind of getting it to where I can do the job more efficiently and stuff like that. But nothing, nothing to where they're like touching anything or anything like that. So I wasn't ready for that. I don't want to be responsible for somebody else. So
Not yet.
Like I said, it's all going to happen at the right time. So
what I would recommend you think about doing, because you're at a point where you don't have an employee, so you don't have to train anybody.
Right.
Train them now. You don't have them, but
right.
record videos
right.
on the way you do things
yeah.
with a GoPro or phone, and then just build up a library. That way when you hire somebody, they train themselves.
Yeah, that's smart.
And they work with you. And you can quickly figure out if they're getting it.
Right, yeah, that's
right.
smart.
You've already got it all planned out. Doing stuff like that saves you a lot of time.
Yeah. I like that.
But yeah, thanks for coming on and talking to us, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate
Thanks for the opportunity, man. It's pretty cool.